Hey up everyone, I hope you're all doing alright and having a good week so far. For today's build I decided to build something for a particular household, which I've not done for a while actually. Usually I'll build a house and imagine the Sims living there as I go along, but this time I decided to think of the Sims first and then build the house like specifically for them. So I built this tiny cottage for a couple that I made, and I'll talk about the couple in a sec. I'm just going to talk about the packs that I used and the details of the build. So I used cottage living and cats and dogs primarily, and then I used the romantic garden stuff pack for the garden obviously, but it's mostly the two expansion packs. It's built on this 20 by 20 lot in Brindleton Bay. It has one bedroom and one bathroom, and it has space for a pet as well. So I built this house for a couple, Perry and Isaiah, and they are an elder couple. They're both retired and they've decided to like settle down in Brindleton Bay, and they're quite different from each other, but it's sort of done in a way that it works. They kind of balance each other out. So Perry likes to think of himself as quite a simple sim. He's a loner, doesn't like going out much, to places. He is an outdoor sim, so he does like going outside, but he don't really want to venture too far from home. He likes his fishing, loves his husband and his dog, and that's all he's really bothered about in life. That's all he really needs. He's not too bothered about like fashion or clothing. He dresses for weather and for comfort, and he's not too bothered about getting mucky and making a bit of a mess. Whereas Isaiah, almost the complete opposite. Definitely a neat sim, likes things to be neat and tidy. He's more of a creative sim, and in his retirement has got very into cross stitch. More of an indoor sim as well, and he has a love for fashion and like keeping up with current trends, and he doesn't see age as like a barrier to express yourself, because sometimes I feel like elder sims are put into a box of what they should look like and what they should be, even down to like the personalities. So they're often quite your typical granddad or grandma sort of look. Like if you imagine a sweet old man or a sweet old lady, like that typical sort of wearing knitted clothing and that sort of typical, there's no way I can describe it, just a typical or a stereotypical imagining of an older person. Whereas for Isaiah, that's not for him. So I did try to dress him as fashionable as possible using the same packs that I used to build the house with, because I will be uploading these to the gallery, sorry. And then they've also got their little dog Finn, who I thought it would be cute to name something fishing related. So yeah, he's a little Shiba Inu, and I got him off the gallery actually. It was made by Pug Owned. They make really nice sort of detailed pets, which I personally think are a lot better than the EA ones. So if you want like nicer pets or more accurate looking ones, I'd definitely recommend them. They're just called Pug Owned on the gallery, I think. But either way, I'll put the name on screen and in the description. But yeah, just doing the exterior of the house now. And I used the romantic garden stuff pack just because I wanted these like white, like tall flowers, and then the main three flowers that I used from this pack really. Just like those tall ones, and then there's like the medium height ones, and then the little sort of bunched up ones. It would help if I knew the names of them, but I don't think it really matters. But yeah, I think that they look really cute, and I like to use them whenever I make a cottage, so I use them. But if you don't have the romantic garden stuff pack, you do want to download this house. You won't really like miss them if you do download it. You can just replace them with other like white plants if you wanted. Just put like the move objects cheat on, which you should put on to place any of my builds just in case. But yeah, I thought as well like it would be like an interesting build challenge. I don't know if it is an actual build challenge, but it would be interesting to try and make a build without using the move objects cheat, and because I rely on that like heavily. I know there's like a don't use the alt key challenge, and I don't know if I could do that one. I don't know, but I could definitely try the one where it's not using move objects cheat. So yeah, let me know if you'd want to see that. And I think it would be better for console players to download the build as well, because if you use a move objects cheat on console and then place a house, it deactivates your trophies or your achievements and stuff. So if people are bothered about that, then they can't place houses that need the move objects cheat. Well, they can place them, but they might just not place correctly. But yeah, let me know if you'd be interested in that. But yeah, just put some lights down just to make it look cute at night time. And again, if you don't have the pack, I think actually the gallery has like an option where if you place a house that uses a pack that you don't have, it'll give you an option to like replace the assets. I'm pretty sure it did, because once I placed a house and it had like a vampires wallpaper, and that was the only thing from vampires it didn't have, so I thought, oh, I'll download that, but I didn't have vampires at the time, and it asked me, do you want to replace the assets that you don't have or something like that. Like it comes up with like a prompt, and then it just replaced the wallpaper with like a base game one. So I'm pretty sure it does that. If it's done anymore, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it does. But yeah, anyway, just placing some like trees down, and I ended up deleting the one that I put on the left just because I thought it kind of like blocked the ocean view from the front of the build, and for the sake of the thumbnail I just thought, oh, you know, I'll get rid of that. But yeah, I put that one down from cats and dogs on the right, and then put a bench down. And I really love that tree from cats and dogs. I think it's really cute, and it's got like an all white version as well, which looks really nice, but I decided to go with the one where it's like green and white just because I think it looks cute. And then put a little picnic basket thing on the table, which we're gonna like put food in it and upload it to gallery, but I don't think it actually works if you do that. Like I don't think it'll download with food. But yeah, it don't really matter. You could just, basically to use the picnic basket, you just drag stuff from your Sims inventory, or like you could just drag it across and just drop them in, and then your Sims will like access the stuff from the basket. And then just putting down some extra details, put some window boxes with flowers and stuff, and then just putting some extra like details on the deck, which I just wanted it to be like quite simple. I also, near the end of the build, put down some fishing tackle on the wall. I kind of thought that maybe Perry would want some like fishing gear, but Isaiah wouldn't have it in the house. He'd be like, no, it stinks, I'm not having that in the house. So all your fishing tackle, you got to keep it outside, because it kind of reminded me of my own grandparents, because my granddad used to like going fishing and stuff, and all his fishing stuff had to be kept in like the shed. Just moving on to the bedroom now, and it kind of like took me a while to decide on a colour scheme for like every room pretty much. The bedroom, I was going to start off using that bed from Cottage Living, but there's just something about it. Like I love the bedding swatch, but I didn't want the black frame, and it kind of like annoys me that that's the thing in The Sims 4. Like I wish it were more customizable, where you could choose the bed frame and then have a different like bedding, but I know that that's not how the swatches work in this game, so just have to get over myself. But yeah, I kind of wanted that bedding but a different bed frame. Like I wanted maybe the white bed frame, but never mind. Settled on the cats and dogs bed. I nearly said cats and beds. Cats and dogs bed, and then just put down like a dresser and a mirror, and then like a nice plant and everything, and then a pet bed as well, because I nearly did forget to put down the pet bed. But yeah, it just kind of took me a while to settle on like a colour scheme. It was same for kitchen. Like I went back and forth between different colour swatches like off camera and stuff, because I placed down the kitchen, and then there was like a knock at door just after I placed it down, so went down to open the door and everything, and it was like our food shop. So as I was like getting the food like into the house from the food delivery, I was thinking about the kitchen, and I was like thinking, you know, should we go with the green, or should we go with yellow, or should we go with a different colour? And you'll see when we get to the kitchen like what I'm on about. But yeah, I was just sort of thinking as I were grabbing chicken nuggets out of the like tray things that they give you food in, and I'm like proper thinking about it, and then the delivery guy was like, oh yeah, your house looks a lot different to when you first moved in, and I'm thinking about the kitchen, and I'm just like, what? Like, what are you on about? And he was like, you know, when you first moved in, like the house looks a lot different. And I'm just like, do I know you? Like I didn't recognise him at all, so I'm assuming like he's delivered food before. But then I started like, I'm like trying to think about the kitchen, and then he's talking to me about my own house, and I'm just, you know, when he first said it, and he's like, oh yeah, your house looks a lot different, and I thought he were on about the build, so I'm a bit like, oh my god, he's like, is he watching me build a house of The Sims 4? But nah, it was just me not paying attention. And yeah, like I said, went with the green at first, and then I put everything down, and then that's when I got the knock on the door, so there's like a little bit of a cut. And then as I came back, I thought we'll actually go with the light swatch. And the floor plan for the house is a little bit odd, like having that bathroom there, but I figured they've got a dog, so they need a bathroom big enough to bath the dog in. So, you know, the bathroom had to take up a bit of space, but you know, it's fine. I were tempted to make the house not a tiny house anymore. By the way, this does like count as a tiny house. But yeah, anyway, went on a bit of a rant there, but yeah, changed all the swatches to like a light wood swatch, and it took me quite a while to settle on like what like table to have, so I was flicking through it a million times and changing the swatch all the time. As you can probably tell, I was just like looking at every single swatch and thinking like what looks best, and then I'd settle on it and then change it again. And sometimes that happens when you're building. Like I even like planned out the layout before I put everything down, but I still make changes as I'm going, as I'm building, so you know, it's fine, it's all part of the process. And yeah, was gonna go with like a light blue sort of swatch, but then I changed my mind and went with green instead because I thought it looked better. I do like those light blue swatches though of those blinds, but something about the green, it's my favourite colour at the minute, so I went with that green swatch instead, and then actually cracked on with the rest of the kitchen because I was just stuck on like changing swatches and, you know, being indecisive for a while. But then yeah, put down a little side table, and I put down some like photo things on here. I were tempted to like get the Sim to take photos of things and then have a little side table where they could have photos, but I ended up just putting down like base game pictures, so the picture of like an apple and then a picture of some butterflies, which is not really a picture, it's like just artwork, and then a picture of like that football team thing. But I figured that they would have photos of the dog on there and photos of each other, so if you wanted that as a little idea, you could do that yourself. But yeah, I just put down some basic pictures that are already in game, not ones that the Sims have took. And then I also nearly forgot to put down a pet bowl, but I did do it in the end, so yeah, don't worry about that. There is everything that you need for a pet, although I didn't put toys in the build, so there isn't everything that you need for a pet. You'll have to buy your own. If you do download this house and you have a pet with it, you'll have to buy your own pet, like some toys or whatever. But yeah, there's no like toys that I've actually bought and placed in the house. But yeah, just added some like final details to the kitchen, and then we'll be moving on to the living room, I believe. And there was something else I wanted to say as well during the voiceover, but I can't remember what I was gonna say. Yeah, I've kind of lost what I'm on about. Oh, that were it. If you do follow me on Twitch and you like attend the streams and everything, attend the streams, is that how you describe that? You watch the streams. I won't be streaming tomorrow, which is Wednesday. I normally stream on Wednesday, but this week is like half term for my kids' school, so there's no way that I can stream when like they're at home and stuff. So yeah, no stream Wednesday. There should be one Friday night, but it just depends because I'll have them at home Friday night as well. They're normally not here on weekends, so I can sort of do whatever on a weekend. But also, sorry if you could just hear me scratching my face. It sounded like right awful, sorry. But yeah, can't really stream when they're at home. So yeah, I don't know if there'll be any streams, but there should still be videos as normal. I can still work on videos. Fortunately, I can like pause recording, which I've had to do about 5 times while recording this voiceover, so if it's a bit all over the place, that's why. Once I stop talking about something and then I get interrupted, or I have to stop because either they're making too much noise or they come in and, you know, ask for a snack or they ask for something, like I'll get a bit off track and then I'll be like, oh, what were I talking about? So I've had to like listen back to the voiceover, and I'm like, what were I on about? Oh yeah, let me listen to it. But yeah, anyway, living room then. So just went with like a brown and greeny sort of colour scheme for the living room, and settled on the base game settee, the one that you get as like, I think it's like a reward for the tech guru career. It's one of the unlockable pieces of furniture for one of the careers anyway. And I am now just realising that we are getting close to the screenshots and the end of the video, so I'll wrap up the voiceover now. I did a live tour, by the way, so you'll be able to see the couple. And if you want to download the house, my gallery ID is HutchPlays. If you want to download the couple separately, you can as well. And if you did enjoy this video, leave a like on it. Let me know if there's anything that you want to see me build, like in particular, if you've got any build ideas or video ideas in general. And if you want to hear more of my rambly, disorganised voiceovers, be sure to subscribe if you want to hear more of that. But yeah, hope you all have a good rest of your week. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye!